Okay, so this last weekend was world premiere in Tampa Bay, and I went, and I was really looking forward to it. It's the world premiere of Rosetta, which obviously is exciting for me because there's 2 wizards and 2 runeblades, and I love wizards, and runeblade is actually my second favorite class. So I was really looking forward to it. Florida's a bit of a flight because I'm in California, but we're gonna be there all week. I flew in Thursday night and met up with my girlfriend, who's also coming to play in the event. And we go to get into our hotel Thursday night, and it's a really nice hotel. The only issue is that the weather in Florida is just terrible. Like the Tampa weather was not the business. It was 95 degrees with like an insane amount of humidity. It was just so gross to be outside. So we get into our hotel, and we're really looking forward to taking like a hot shower, just to kind of like rinse off and everything. Her apartment shower doesn't get super hot, so she's really looking forward to like hotel shower, scalding, because women like their showers scalding apparently. And I get in the shower, and it just never heats up, which is so disappointing. I feel like most people have experienced this when all you want to do is take like a really hot shower. You're gross. I've been in an airplane all day, and all I want to do is take a really hot shower and get in bed. And it just never gets there. It just never heats up. So I take a nice like warm shower, lukewarm shower, which sucks. And then we end up going to bed. Wake up, complain about the shower, get free breakfast at the hotel, and then head on in to the convention center. And the energy is like up there. Everyone's stoked, right? New set, huge event. Everyone's really looking forward to it. And the big thing is people hadn't seen the Majestics or the Legendaries yet. This was a really big deal. We sit down for the world premiere, and we get our packs. I already have kind of an idea of what I want to do. I would like to play an Earth Hero because I think the Earth Heroes are like a little bit better. Obviously, I would love to play a Cilio, but I think the Earth Heroes are a lot stronger. And going into the weekend, you'll see that is very much kind of proven to be true. But I start opening my pool, and it is just not an Earth pool. I am pretty much forced to play Lightning. I don't really have the Earth equipment. I don't really have any decomposed cards. I don't really have much of anything. It's just kind of poop. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play Lightning. And obviously, I have to try my boy Acilio, the Lightning Wizard. Do I think it's a good Acilio deck? No. I think it's probably better if I play Aurora. But what I want to do is I want to like try out Acilio. That way I know whether or not in Sealed for the calling tomorrow, the next day, I should play him, right? I want to know if my like Sealed deck, if it's even worth playing Acilio, or if it's a Lightning Sealed pool, you should just play Aurora. So we load up, get in there, and I play against I think Dagon for round 1. He's wearing a Florian cape, and I just get destroyed. I do absolutely nothing. I get super crushed, and I die. Maybe I played against him in the calling. I just can't remember. But I played Acilio, round 1, world premiere, got crushed. And that sucked. So I immediately switched it over to Aurora. I was like, I'll play the other Lightning Hero, whatever, man. And Aurora was a lot better than Acilio. However, she was not nearly as good as the real king of this event, and that is Florian. But let's talk about round 1 a little bit more. So round 1, I'm playing Acilio into Florian. And my plan is just like Tall Arcane is basically unblockable in this format. And so even the Earth decks, which have like some life gain and stuff, usually can't life gain their way out of it if you have like a bunch of Tall Arcane. So that's what my deck does. It has a couple Go Again Lightning cards, and it shoots really Tall Arcane at people, and it's gonna kill them. And so I do some damage. I'm chipping them down. I hit with an Arcane spell, and my opponent casts this 0-card generic instant that I had never seen before because it wasn't spoiled. It's a common, so it's not like a Majestic. It's just a generic instant that says gain 1 life. But if you've been dealt arcane damage this turn, instead gain 4 life. So my entire plan was to play like a wizard and burn people out with basically unblockable arcane. And then they cast a common generic. So anyone can have this in their pool. Anyone can play it. And it's likely they have a couple copies that gains 4 life, completely ruining my plan. And I'm like, how many of those do you play? And he's like, 3. And that was the moment I decided I wasn't going to keep playing Acilio. So I switched to Aurora, and the rest of the event went way better for me. I either went 2-2 or 3-1. I can't really remember, but I was like really feeling the difference in power between the Earth sealed pools and the Lightning sealed pools. And that's going to be a bit of a theme here. I play out the other 2 sealed events. I play out another sealed event, and I do open an Earth pool, and I'm just like mindlessly crushing people. Like I'm just like not really trying that hard. My cards are all insane, and just beating people up. And I'm like, wow, Florian is not okay. The real standout card in my deck was Germinate, his specialization, which is just not okay. I would just, every single Earth Mirror, I would just pitch stack Germinate with like blues. I know, really hard. And then when I would draw it, I would just win the game. I would just draw it second cycle or when my ability was on, and the game would just be over every single time I played it. It was just not fair. So I went 3-0, and then I agreed to split in the last round, getting myself a nice chunk of tickets. So I have like almost enough tickets here to get a box. Or I have more than enough tickets to get a box. I have like 1,200 or something, and a box is 960. So we get out to eat, and then head back to the hotel. The plan is to go out, but my girlfriend just crashes super hard. So instead of going out, we take a nice cold shower again, and then go to sleep. Wake up the next day, calling day. Really looking forward to this. Just hoping to like open Earth, right? That's like my whole plan, is just open Earth cards. I just want to play Earth. We're sitting down. We got our 8 packs. And the way you do it in the calling is you like open your packs, and you have to show people what you open. You have to show the guy across from you what you open as you're opening it, right? So you get to like watch your pool in like slow motion, but you can't go back to check anything. So open the first pack, and it's like all the reds in it are wizard cards. And I'm like, oh no. Not like this. Second pack, start opening. All the reds are lightning cards. Third pack, start opening. Most of the reds are Runeblade cards. Fourth pack, start opening. Nothing good. At this point, the only equipment I've opened is arms. I have 4 different arms in my sealed pool. Not going super swell. I have 0 Earth equipment because they're not arms. I don't even have any really good Earth cards, but I did open a Comet Storm Shock, the Acilio Meld card, and I'm like, surely I can't play Acilio. He's so bad. I keep opening the packs, and all I can think of, because you like open them, you set them down, and then you give them to your opponent, and he does this, then he opens his pack. So all I can think of is like, I do end up finding some equipment, but it's not Earth equipment, which are incredibly powerful in the sealed format. And I just know I don't have an Earth pool. I have to play Lightning. So after everything done, I get my pool back. I look through it. Certain I've missed something. Surely I can scramble together an Earth pool here. But I just absolutely cannot. Okay, we got to play Lightning. I have a ton of tall red arcane. Really good red arcane. Let's figure out Acilio. I can do it. I'll make it work. And I'm looking through it, and I just have like no go again. My pool is like clearly a lightning pool. I have like 17 Earth cards and like 25 lightning cards. But you know what I don't have? Go again. I just can't do it. I have one lightning sigil. One. I have like 3 red flittering charges. The one that says like it's a 0/4. If you played an instant, it gets go again. But I just don't have the instants. I just don't have them. I have one lightning sigil and like one other instant sigil, and like that's pretty much it. A yellow electromagnetic somersault and a red electrostatic discharge, and those are all of my playable instants. I just cannot make Acilio work. I have all the stuff, but I don't have the equipment. I don't have the go again. I don't have the sigils. I have everything else. I got all the arcane. I have a lot of the pieces. 3 red flittering charges, right? A lot of good stuff. Just don't have the sigils. Don't have the go again. If I had 2 more lightning sigils, I would absolutely play it because I had the flittering charges. They're great with sigils. I could get go again with the embodiments. I really could have had a decent deck here, but I'm forced to play Aurora. Now, the other issue is that like I can give things go again with Aurora, but it's kind of tough. I have to get an embodiment. And all my Runeblade cards are just 2 for 7s. All my playable Runeblade cards are 2 for 7s, which sounds awesome, right? Oh my god, 2 card 7, sign me up. Except here's how my deck looks. All my I have like 3 red Runeblade 2 for 7s. The ones without text, not the ones that have overpower. They all block 3. All my lightning cards block 2 or 0, right? And then like that's kind of it. I have some red finals fighting spirits and stuff, and that's great, but like that's kind of all I have. And Florian laughs at 2 card 7s because this guy's sending 2 card 8s all the time. So I'm playing basically a Florian deck. Except I don't have the power for earth equipment. My cards don't block very hard. And I don't have the late game power that Florian has. I'm doomed, and I know it. Round 1, sit down against Florian. Don't get there. Just get beat up. My opponent casts 2 card 8s. They activate his ability. I run into hands that, Runeblade hands that don't be getting go again and stuff. Brutal game. Get blown out. I'm so down. I hate sealed events that have stakes, like callings that are sealed and stuff. World Premiere is different because it's fun, right? I'm still having fun because of brand new cards. This is exciting. But the problem with sealed callings is that you open your sealed pool, and because it's fucking sealed, you know immediately whether or not you are even in contention to day 2, right? Especially in formats like this. Mistveil was a bit different. You could like really play your way into like solid Mistveil sealed stuff, but you basically could look at your pool, and you guys are going to feel what I mean when you play your pre-releases. If you weren't at Tampa, you're going to feel what I mean. You're going to open your pool. You're going to look at it. If it's not an Earth pool, you're probably not winning. Like, Earth is just so much better. So I get crushed, and I'm down, but my girlfriend, who's playing Florian, wins her first match, and I'm stoked for her. Because while she's been playing for like a year, she doesn't get to play very much. And this is like, she's played like one other calling, I think. So, she started off 1-0. I'm stoked. Then round 2, I play against Verdance. And they're thinking, oh, Aurora, I just need to survive till late. And then I'll just like, I'll just win because I have Earth cards and stuff. And I'm like a late game hero. They're an aggro hero. What they don't know is that my entire deck is 0 for 4s and 2 for 7s. It's just none of it has any fucking synergy. But if they're going to play the game slow and they don't have a weapon, then it doesn't matter because I can just send 2 for 7s every turn or 0 for 4s and make embodiments. And every now and then my deck kind of lines up in a way that works and I get to have a really good turn. But since the average damage of my cards is really high, I can fatigue them if they're not careful. Also, there's really not a lot of reason to play Verdance in sealed. Like, just if you have a Verdance deck and you want to make it better, what you do is you take your Verdance deck, literally like most of the same cards. You take out all the wizard cards. You put in Runeblade cards that block 3 instead, and you play Florian, and your deck is just automatically better. Like, automatically. If you don't have Heart of Candlehold or multiple of like the new Scalding Rain melds, the Earth one that gains life, you should just play Florian. Just play the same life gain cards, right? You just fatigue the Verdances because you have a sword and they don't. You fatigue the Acilios because you have all the life gain. You fatigue the Auroras because you have like a lot of equipment that blocks. and your stuff attacks for like 8. It's just so much better. Just play Florian, guys. If you can possibly play Florian, just play Florian. So I end up fatiguing my first Verdants that I play against. They are pretty surprised. And then round 3, I play against Verdants again. And once again, I fatigue them. And I'm like, oh my God, I can do this. I can do this. My girlfriend's 3-0. She's killing it, right? We're stoked. I'm bouncing back. Next round, I play against, I think, a Florian. And I win. I managed to get there. I'm 3-1. We're really bouncing it back here. It's kind of happening. It's kind of happening. I go watch Larissa's game, and unfortunately, she doesn't get there. She's playing against like another Earth hero, and it comes down to fatigue, and she just doesn't have the experience in like fatigue-y matchups, and it's really weird, especially in limited. Like fatigue end games are strange, and she just like had never played them before. That and I think like the mental fatigue kind of caught up to her because the next 2 rounds she also unfortunately loses, so she ends up 3-3. Loses 3 like fatigue games in a row, which I think she also thinks she definitely could have won had she had some more experience in it and maybe was a little bit less mentally fatigued. But I'm 3-1, and then round 5, play against Florian, and just get beat. Just can't get there. I try, but my deck's lack of synergy kicks me in the ass. And 2-card 7s as a lightning hero is worse than 2-card 7s as an earth hero. I don't get there. So I need to win 3 in a row. 3-0 in order to advance to day 2. I look at my pairings, and it's Nathan Crawford. So I sit down against Nathan, who's on Florian, and I'm like, God damn it. I know this guy is pretty comfortable playing Rune Blades. He's been playing a lot of them. I know this guy's a pretty good player. I know he will be able to take advantage of my deck's like inherent lack of synergy. So we start going, and my deck is humming. We are making things happen. I'm sending shit left and right, and I got him on the ropes. I have an attack that he can either like take and go to 1, or he can like block out and pass the turn back. And he thinks for a while. And he looks at me. And he says, I've been playing Runeblade for a long time. And there's one thing you can always guarantee a Runeblade's going to do. And that's draw a Runeblade hand. And he says, so I'm going to bet the game on it. And he blocks out, passes his turn, and dares me to draw a non-functional 5-card hand. And that's exactly what I do. I draw up, I look at my hand, and it does nothing. I have like a 4 or 5 card hand or something, and I send 3 damage, no going in. And he looks at me, and he goes, I know, man. I've been dealing with this shit for 3 years. And he wins the game, and he knocks me out of the calling. I'm out at 3-3. Oh, man. Very funny. After a lot of bitching about sealed to my friends, me and Larissa head out. We have a pretty fun little like date night planned that we're really excited about. She's got some surprises that she planned. It's also my birthday the next weekend, but I won't see her this coming weekend, so we were kind of like celebrating my birthday and stuff. So I take her to this really cool Japanese place that people seem to love. I can't remember what it's like, Izakaya Tori or something. People really seem to like it. So we went, and it's a little like warm in there, but I have to dress a little formal because of what we're doing next. So I have like jeans and a sweater because dress up short sleeves just like aren't a thing for men. Like if you want to wear something nice, it has to be a long sleeve. I don't know why, but you have to wear pants and a long sleeve. There's no short sleeveless dress option for men, but we should invent that. So it's like a little warm, and it's really warm and really humid outside. So we sit down, we start eating, and the food is great. It's really good, but like 30 minutes into it, I start feeling not good. We had like 2 drinks, and I hadn't been eating much during the day, but like not nearly enough that this should be an issue for me. But I started just like not feeling hungry in like a really uncomfortable way, and then I start feeling nauseous. And so I'm like, hey, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I walk in the bathroom, and the bathroom's like a little bit colder than it is in the main restaurant, and I'm just like considering just staying in there for a few minutes because I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Mentioned cold. This wasn't cold. This was like vomiting feeling. I'm just nauseous. I feel terrible all of a sudden, and I have no idea why this happened. So I go back, I sit down, and I just try to fight through it for a little bit, and I just cannot. I think if I stay in that room any longer, I'm actually just gonna start throwing up. So I tell her, I'm like, hey, I gotta get out of here. We gotta go. And she's like really worried, and we're talking about the plans that we had after because she had scheduled some things, and she had scheduled us apparently in the steakhouse they have like a separate room where you can book a dessert tasting, where it's just like you two. It's a like intimate environment. And then they bring you like their desserts, and you get to try all the desserts and stuff. And I was like, holy shit, that's such a cool activity. That sounds so fun. But I literally cannot think of a single thing I want to do less right now. I feel so terrible, and I'm so sorry. So we had to like cancel that and go back to the hotel because I was in danger of just throwing up everywhere. As soon as we get to the hotel, I start to feel better. I like just jump into the cold shower because I knew it was going to be cold, but this time it was on purpose because I'm just overheating so bad. The heat in the restaurant was so high, I honestly think I was just getting like heat exhaustion out of nowhere. It's just so strange. By the end of the night, I end up feeling a little bit better, but we're just stuck in a hotel. We take like a 2-hour nap. We wake up, it's like 9:30, 10. And I'm not sure if I'm ready to like go out, if I can handle it. And, you know, once you've taken a nap and woken up, you're kind of like, duh. So I wasn't super down to do anything. So I ended up ordering, like, DoorDashing us desserts from, like, a local dessert place. And we just stayed in the hotel and ate desserts. And honestly had a really good time. So that night started really, really, really poorly. But, you know, it was still fun. Still fun little birthday night. You lost that match to heat fatigue. I definitely lost some matches to fatigue. That's for sure. Sunday, we decide not to play the Battle Hardened. Normally, I'm like a battle-hardened gamer, but I just didn't want to because if I opened another lightning pool and it lost me more elo, I would just be so like frustrated for no reason. And on Sunday, they have Team Sealed, and I love team events. I can't even like explain to you guys how much fun they are if you haven't done them. Saturday night yesterday? Yeah, Saturday. Sunday. No battle hardened. Team Sealed. We go out to like a little French breakfast place, have a nice breakfast, head into the venue late because it doesn't start till like noon. Way back when Larissa was brand new to Flesh and Blood, in Bright Lights, we did a Bright Lights Team Sealed, and we were looking for a third person. And Mara said, "Hey, my friend Kevin, who I had never met, is also looking for a team. He would like to do Team Sealed. Would you guys like to play together?" And I was like, "Yeah." So, you know, we met each other, hung out, and we had just like so much fun doing this Team Sealed. If you remember that story time, this is the one where I lost us a match by asking our opponent to concede because they had lost the game, and then got my entire team a match loss. You might remember that one. But yeah, like we had so much fun in the Bright Lights one. And so in this one, when we decided to do Team Sealed, we messaged him again. And we're like, "Hey, do you want to get the gang back together? And we'll run it back. We'll do another one." How's Team Sealed work? I'll get to that. So he's like, "Hell yeah, let's go." So noon, we get there, and they give you an entire box of Rosetta, 24 packs. You open it up. Yeah, I wanted to run it back because it's sick. Yeah. And so we open it up, and you open up 24 packs, and then you have to make 3 separate decks, right? Not the same heroes. And then you each play one of those decks. And so you assign an A, B, and C, right? So I was B, so I always sit in the middle. And then I always play against our opponent's B seat. And then you all play 3 games at once, right? So like A's play against each other, B's play against each other, and C's play against each other. And then whichever team wins 2 out of the 3 games wins the match. And so you want all your decks to be like as powerful as possible and stuff. But it's so fun because you could like talk to each other. You could say, hey, what do you think about doing this? Should I block with these two and then send that one? And then your teammate goes, yeah. Just don't forget about that, right? Like it's just a really good time. So we open up our box, and it's clear we have one very good lightning deck, but we cannot make two. We just don't have the tools. We can, however, make really good earth decks. So I'm begging. I'm like, please let me play Acilio. Please let me play Acilio. Let me play this busted ass Acilio deck. And they were kind enough to let me play Acilio. Kevin ran Florian, and Larissa ran Verdance. We had some really strong M's in the pool. We did not have very good blues for Verdance or Florian, which is kind of crazy. But it was really tough to like balance the Decompose and the good blues. I wish we had more Autumn's touches. We had like 5 total in an entire box, which seems small, but it is what it is. And we put it together, and I had just this giga busted Acilio deck. It was just so nuts. My entire deck was reds except for like a couple cards, a couple sigils and stuff. Like everything cost 0 except like 2 cards in the entire deck, I think. Like one of them was Comet Storm. It is so nuts. Such a nuts deck. And yeah, we sit down, we start playing. It's just so fun. We get like 3 wins in our first match. All of us win. In the second round, I'm not able to get there. And then we win the other 2. We had a little funny thing going on where, remember the card that I was saying it gains 1 unless you've been dealt Arcane, then you gain 4? We opened 2 of those, 2 red ones. And so whoever was playing against the opponent's Acilio would just side both of them into their deck. So whoever was playing against Acilio just had 2 of the Arcane Polarities, and it was very good every single time. Really fun event. Actually, like, by far my favorite event that we did during the weekend. That was Flesh and Blood related, right? Is just team events are just too cool. And if you ever get the chance to do one, I highly recommend it. It's so fun. It's like, 1, you get to cook with an entire box, and that's great. And 2, it's like just the team environment cannot be beat. It's just nice. It feels better to win as a team. It feels better to lose as a team. You know what I mean? We have a lot of tickets, though. I ended up selling a bunch of mine. And we're just able to make it so that everyone can get a box. So we're about to head down to trade our tickets to get a box of Rosetta, which would be really fun because it's a brand new set, right? You decide what all 3 decks at once when you sit down. Yeah, basically. We make it so we all can get a box of Rosetta. We head over to the ticket line, which has about 100 actual people in it. It's ridiculous. And then we are informed that they have in fact ran out of Rosetta sealed product. So at the Rosetta World Premiere, where everyone wants to get boxes of Rosetta at the ticket wall, they're out. We can't get them anymore. And we're sitting here with our box worth of tickets, and we can't get one. So we end up having to trade the tickets in for Star City Games store credit and later get a box after the set officially releases, which is in 2 weeks. So that sucks. We have to wait 2 weeks for it. It's got to get shipped. It's a pain. But it is what it is. Honestly, not the worst. A couple homies top-8'd. Darkodius top-8'd. My friend and teammate Eric top-8'd. Lucas Oswald top-8'd. Hamilton top-8'd. Like a bunch of people top-8'd. It was really cool to watch. I'm pretty excited to like watch the actual calling. What were the juicy pulls from the box? Anything spicy? Larissa pulled a fabled sigil of earth. I think that was like the main one. I don't think we had we didn't have a legendary. And yeah, so like we got to watch a little bit of the top 8. The issue was we had to Lucas more than top 8. He did in fact win the event. Congratulations to him, by the way. But Larissa and I had to bounce to the airport. So we're kind of rushing to the airport. We have just enough time to like grab some food before we have to dart off to our respective flights. So we stop at this little like burrito place in the airport, and we're eating, and she's talking to me about events like Flesh and Blood events and how it's kind of funny to go with me to them. Because I am like a known figure in Flesh and Blood, and so people, especially ex-Legend of Runeterra players, like to come up to me and say hello and everything, right? Which is great. I love that. People come up and they say hi. They take pictures sometimes. Sometimes they ask me to sign things. And so we're sitting there eating our little burritos in the airport, and she's talking to me how it's funny to go to these events with me because people stop and do those things. And she's like, I was talking to my mom about how about how people come up and they take pictures with you and they ask you to sign things, and how people sometimes literally line up to talk to you. She's like, I was talking to my mom about it, and she like straight up doesn't believe me. She said, there's no way that's true. And then right as she finishes saying that, literally the second she finishes her sentence, someone finishes walking up to me, holds out 2 red Aether quickenings and says, hey, Majin, would you mind signing these for me? Which was just the funniest timing, because I think if he were listening in, he probably could have heard the very end of that sequence that we were talking about, because that's how close the timing was. And she goes, and she just doesn't believe me. Hey, Majin, would you sign mine? That's how close in timing it was. It was just the funniest, like most coincidental thing on the planet. So we were laughing about that afterwards, but I got to sign some quickenings, which was, which was cool. It's always fun to sign wizard cards. And yeah, jump on the airplane. Plane gets delayed, of course, right? End up heading home, and I'm not going to make my connection, which is so sick. It's going to be really, really, really close because of the delay. It's going to be like 10 minutes. Like my flight, we land, and my flight literally leaves in 10 minutes, right? Which is not going to be great. Do I have a fancy gold signing pen? No, I probably should buy one. But the flight attendants are like, hey, people have connections, connecting flights. So if you don't have a connecting flight, we ask that you like stay seated so the people who do have connecting flights, because they're really close, can get off and get to them. And so I like let the people around me know, hey guys, like I'm flying, to California from here, and my flight literally leaves in 10 minutes. So like if you wouldn't mind, like letting me through so I can make my flight. And everyone was like, oh yeah, of course. So they start letting people off the plane, and not a single fucking person on the entire plane stays sitting down. I'm like basically in the back. And every single person, to a man, every single person on this plane in front of me got off the plane. Not a single person stayed seating, except one person. One. Who had to wait for someone to come with the wheelchair, so they don't count because they couldn't get off the plane anyway. Even the people around me who I had asked to let me through and had said okay, still cut in front of me to get off the plane first, even though they didn't have connecting flights. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is so ridiculous. You guys are all assholes. So I got off the plane basically last. I was so late to the flight that when I ran up to the gate, the guy said, Caleb, which is my name, because I'm the only person who's not on the flight. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, gets me through and shuts the door, and the plane starts pulling back as I'm walking to my seat. That's how late I was for this connecting flight. I was so upset that people wouldn't like wait 2 minutes and let me through. But, is what it is. And that was basically the trip. Got home, got nice little midnight In-N-Out run, as you do, get some burger and fries and stuff. And that was a trip. Nothing crazy happened. Nothing insane. Which makes the story time, I'm sure, kind of boring. But it was just a fun event. I had a blast. Like, if you can make it to the world premieres, highly recommend you try to do that. If you can make it to anything that has team sealed, not just sealed, just team events, highly recommend you do that. Too little alcohol. Yeah, sorry, I got too sick too fast for the alcohol parts of the stories. It's just good. I'm really looking forward to Rosetta. Acilio seems just so fun. Oh my god, the lines with that dude is like incredible. I'm a little worried about Verdance not being a real hero. Florian is way too good in sealed. You guys will find that out when you do your pre-release. Go do your pre-release and then come back here and comment about how much better you think Florian is than everybody else. Someone's gonna be like, no, Verdance, and I'm gonna be like, but yeah. Anyway, really looking forward to it. I'm playing 4 pre-releases this weekend on my birthday weekend. It's just gonna be a blast. We know if Osaka has them. Osaka will almost assuredly have a team event. We just don't know what it is. And that's all I got. That's the story time. Thanks for coming by. Again, I know it wasn't the most exciting, and I didn't win anything, but I had a really good time. It was very fun. Always a good time to see people. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.